Friends, oh my God. Let's talk about Richtech. Let's talk about Applied Digital. Make this a short, little, sweet, to the point. What is going on with these stocks? Man, I hope everyone is doing well. You know, these are two stocks. I got to be completely honest. I'm trying to be completely 100% open with you here. These are stocks that I figured would do really well in the near future, that they would do well this year. Especially Applied Digital, Richtech. I was kind of like, I think this stock will hold around a $2.50, $3 zone on a good day. But my God, these stocks have they're getting popular. The people are watching them. So let's talk about it. I mean, stocks are going crazy. They're going freaking crazy. So let's talk about Richtech and what's going on here. And there's not a lot of new news from last time I talked about this, which was a few days ago. But I mean, the stock is still climbing aggressively. And I think I kind of know what's going on here. So Richtech, bullet points here. This has been a company that NVIDIA working with, ties with and stuff, and obviously robotics. I think I have a hunch, and obviously I wish I could tell you this 100% certain. I wish I could look into the future because I would be, a very good stock caller, obviously. But I think going into this year 2026 that robot industry, whatever you want to say here, are going to become a lot bigger, because I do believe once Tesla releases Optimus here to the general public or manufacturers, private ties, whatever it be here, either way it's coming, I believe people are going to start focusing more on robots, companies, essentially. So Richtech here already kind of being essentially in that space. I think that people are in here right now buying this stock because they're trying to get in while they can. The stock is growing aggressively. It's growing so much that the CEO just made a ton of money because he sold a ton of shares and made crazy amounts of money. But obviously the big push that's happening here with Richtech here is NVIDIA, NVIDIA working with them. But right now, I kind of look at Richtech and I go like, how more aggressive is this stock going to become right now? I mean, I think the last time I talked about this, I said, I don't think $4 is crazy. We've went well into $4 at this point. But I'm kind of wondering if this pace kind of keeps up here. And obviously, there's a lot of momentum going on in the market right now. We just had a rate cut situation today. There's potentially 2 more rate cuts coming this year. So the market's euphoria right now. It's happy. It's, everyone's in, just this, let's spend money. Let's buy stocks. Obviously, there will be a tidal wave in the market here. Some people will want money and they'll take profit here. But, I kind of look at Richtech right here, and, for the person going, well, quarterlies are junk. I get that. I talked about that. They just released quarterlies here. They did not meet expectation, but, they weren't terrible in the sense of like they were way, way off. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is terrible. It wasn't like a big bear situation. But, there's this thing that I've always seen in the market, and there's people that get this and then they don't get this. I believe there's types of investors, and we all have friends that invest, and we all know the buddy who is very much into, they only mathematically invest in companies that are, have a solid 2 years of good earnings. They're in the S&P 500, or they're well-established companies. Even smaller companies that are just kind of getting on their, 2 feet running here. They'll never touch Richtech, and that's totally fine. But I think there's investors too here in a lot of this right now. The aroma that I'm seeing right now, just in chat rooms, talking to people about this, is that they're taking a chance, and they're taking a chance that what the market is going to bring next year, and that Richtech could obviously run into more aggressive, business here in the near future. So I think I look at a lot of this and I go, well, I think there's just a lot of people. Obviously, they're pushing it. There's volume, but I think people are getting in here making a position right now. Anything under $5. So I don't think $5 is out of the question with this. Over the next small amount of time here, I am severely shocked that we are still going up. I think, and obviously today is kind of it's a hard day to say, that this is a normal day, because it's not. The Fed's talk today. But the fact that people are already willing to pay this amount over $4, I mean, this thing's been over $4 at this point, is kind of telling me, we can go deeper into $4. I don't think 4.30, 4.50 even, and maybe seeing $5 by, a month or two from now, as long as the market keeps on this progression. And hey, maybe the S&P 500 is actually going to go to 7,000 point range here by the end of the year. So yeah, I think everyone should still pay attention to Richtech. Do what you want to do with it. I know a couple people that started buying this around $1.50, $2 here just a month ago, and sitting on a pretty penny here right now. So yeah, wow. I'm gonna watch it. I'm really interested in what the future of this company is. Like I said, I've talked about this, but I really do think this coming year is gonna be the year of robots, because I say that because I've seen Tesla do this before, obviously the car industry, but there's many things that, it takes one company to maybe trigger something. We've seen Elon trigger things in the market here. Elon's triggered crypto. He's triggered the EV market, other things that he's done. A lot of space companies, for God's sakes, Rocket Lab. I mean, people didn't really know to pay attention to that stuff, but an Optimus coming here with Tesla, that could trigger people looking at robotic stocks a lot more. So yeah, this could run next year just off of hype. If that's kind of what I'm trying to say. This could turn into a hype stock very fast. I think that's a little bit what's going on right now. And I don't say that to be mean, because I think when I say that, some people go like, no, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's okay because people are making money off of it. Listen, this is not a well-known stock yet. Like, it's still very kind of like unknown, which is good for you if you're already here and you know about I don't know why I'm whispering. If you're already here and you know about Richtech, you're probably ahead of what's coming here in the future. So yeah, I'm gonna keep talking about it. I'm very interested how this is going to play out here the next 6 months with Richtech. Obviously, quarterly's money, they need to pick up pace, but that could be changing here. Obviously, that could be changing. So we'll see what happens here. And then Applied Digital. I mean, my God, I was like, yesterday this stock was $5, and I was saying it was going to $10, and people were like, no way. Here we are. Applied Digital is essentially turning into this chasm of just money right now. Now, the newest news is that this lease with CoreWave is sealed up. It's pretty much finalized. It's done. So even today, of all days in the market, this really just took the stock, and it was actually yesterday, but it bled in today. It's Applied Digital is looking for $20. I can't believe that we're saying that already. I think I said last week or something? I said I think that Applied Digital is going to be a $20 stock here before we know it, 20 to 25, and my God, we're almost there. That is crazy. But Applied Digital is making a lot of money. I mean, they're just making a lot of money. There's no other way to say it right now. This company is showing you what is coming in the future. Now, just like what I said here about robotics in next year, that they could kind of take over the market. I do look at the digital aspect of data center companies that are data centers, digital, Applied Digital here. I don't know if this will ever take over the market, because it's not really that slick. It's not really that sexy. It's just kind of like, it's almost like the grocery stores of stocks. And I don't say it to be mean. I say that in a good way, where like they're just solid stocks. They make good money. You don't really hear from them. They never really take over the zeitgeist of the market or people talking about it, but they're just good, solid stocks. These data centers are becoming something very new, okay, and they're starting to make a lot of money. Applied Digital is no exception here. This company is making a lot of money, and it's getting noticed a lot more. I mean, 6 months ago when I was talking about Applied Digital, I don't think a lot of people they were like, Applied what? But now it is getting very well known, and it's this year they've missed quarterlies lately, but still they're making more money than they were last year. So it's kind of you know, it's showing that, okay, they're not making quite what we expected, but still they're making aggressive money for such a just new situation of a company coming up here. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm just keeping it short and sweet here, just kind of update what's going on, because people, I get so many comments, friends, on stocks. I really try to talk about everything here, but I see it. I mean, this is amazing. Listen, I am shocked just like you, even though I said, like, I believe this is going to $20. Like, I guess it's kind of when you see it, you're just like, man, it happened fast. It happened right before we knew it. So this is what it is. For people that are in this right now, congratulations. You know, I know a lot of you have been writing Applied Digital since, you know, $4, $5, $6, $10. You know, just a few weeks ago when we were talking about Applied Digital, it was $13, $14. And, you know, now look at it. I mean, that's insane jump. That is an insane jump. So, wow. Wowie, wowie, wowie. Friends, I want to wish all of you the best of luck. I cannot thank you enough for listening to me yap here. I will be back talking soon, and let's see what the market finishes out here these last 2 days that we have going on here, and see if we can get some more movement out of this market, get some more money out of it. Friends, take care of yourself. Bye, everyone.